Hello everyone, my name is Kadi, and today I'm going to be continuing my story on how I started to trade with a negative RR. So where I left off last, I was talking about my June crash out. If you haven't watched that video, please watch the part 2 of this video. Yes. Yeah, so basically in June and a little bit of July, I had a crash out, and that's kind of where I'm going to continue off from. So I of course mentioned June and how that was a break-even month for me. I was going through that, but also in July, of course, that was when I started to do the 1 to 2 strategy with the fair value gaps and the whole thing. And I just was not mentally prepared for what it would be like. Now, keep in mind, I mentioned that I backtested the strategy 400 times. So I saw a pattern. I did. And the pattern was I would lose 5 to 7 times in a row at certain points. It was never like, you never know when, but it would just happen, and I would see that. And I would just, after 400 times, and it's not like it's happening like every other second, but it's like something happens and then it keeps on happening and then it stops. You know what I mean? But it's still good. And then that's the thing. You count up all your losses and you're like, damn, I lost so much. But then you would go with the wins and everything, and you count back and you're like, wait, I'm up. I'm profitable with these wins. Like how the fuck? Like I have a 46% win rate or a 44% win rate, depending on what, but I'm still here. It's messed up or like weird. And unfortunately, due to those statistics, I wasn't even able to see that win rate for myself because I just crashed out before like that could actually come into fruition. And I got so tilted due to the losses that I would have. It would be like this is the first week. The craziest thing is I started to do the 1 to 2s, right? And I was not just doing the fair value gaps, that was like the main, but I was also looking at supply and demand. So literally the first day that I decided to do the 1 to 2, I recorded it live. It was live traded. And it hit TP, bro. Talk about setting unrealistic expectations. I was risking $70 to make $140, and with how I trade, which is almost every day, so 4 days a week, I thought it was going to be like that a lot more. The second day, loss. The day after that, it was like I almost could have won, but then I took it on the wrong pair. So ES and NQ was setting up for the same setup. I chose ES to like do with that, but then by the time anything happened, NQ already took off with the same exact strategy before I really saw it. And for ES, it didn't even hit the zone. It just barely wicked like some few ticks above it, and then it went off. And I just remember being so upset about that. And then the next day, oh my gosh, the strategy, I entered in the same exact thing. I entered in, and it's looking good. It's a nice clean rejection. Remember, I was risking $70 to make 140. In this trade, it got up to $100. So when I saw that, I was very confident that it was gonna hit TP. It stopped me out, and I was just like, okay, well, none of that. And all I could think about was the fact that it hit $100, and this is where would it get me if I was risking a 1 to 1? It would have been TP. That's another thing. It's like, even though you decided to get on to this 1 to 2 strategy, you're thinking about the 1 to 1s. You're thinking about, but if I did this, it would have been 1. And you feel like, damn, like I should just go back. Like, you just have those feelings. But I, continued on. The next day, literally the next day, I remember this from work. I took a trade, and I felt nervous about it. I felt really nervous about it. It was like I was anxious for it to win. Like I was really hoping for it to win. I felt like, I can't really remember right now, but I felt like I took that trade, and I felt like it wasn't, like I shouldn't have taken that trade. I can't really remember. I wasn't really journaling back then, but I felt that. And so after that, I went to, so the next day, it was the same thing. I saw the same exact setup. I was gonna go for the same exact entry, and it got me in. So I see I'm in the trade at work, and again, like I mentioned, I was feeling nervous, but it was going up. I hit the entry, things started rejecting off of the zone, which I love. I love it. It's so nice. And yeah, it started rejecting off. It got up to $120 in profit, and it was at a very quick time. $120 in profit. And I just remember being like, oh, like this might actually work out, even though I was nervous. I was so nervous about it, like it not working. But I was just like, oh, wait, this is looking kind of good. Stop out. It stopped me out. $20 this close from my TP. Rewind. And I'm just like, okay, word. But it's okay now. But then crashed out, burned out. Bro, that, I remember crying on a regular basis because of that shit. Like I just started tearing up. Because I felt like I was doing so much, you know. I was working hard, I was studying, I was, you know, like the constant thing, you know, you just go get it, you know, you're paying attention, you're refining, you're adjusting, you know, like going within the markets, and you just it's just not working out, and you feel so exhausted and frustrated. And I literally had ChatGPT tell me that I needed to take a fucking break. And so I took a fucking break. I thought I was only going to do 1 week. They said 1 to 2 weeks. I thought I was just going to do 1 week. It ended up being 2. The first week, I did nothing related to trading. I did nothing. Yeah, literally no videos, no content, no back testing, no even looking at TradingView, nothing. I was just like, no. And it was a really nice period. I felt like I had the mornings to myself. It was really nice to not have that pressure right in the morning. Like the pressure being great, because I'm not on like prop firm or anything. I'm just doing my own personal funds, and you know, I had big dreams for myself. I had big goals. I had big goals for myself, and you know, I was using the personal account, the small personal account, as a way to test my ability and how I am, and whether or not I can actually do this thing for real. And you know, since up to this point, I have not been successful in the ways that I thought that I could be, and it's been holding me back for a very long time. So now I was at a point where I was really identifying that, and that's where week 2 came in. Week 2 was me coming back into the trading world, me thinking about trading again, but with the perspective of, hey, I just fucking crashed out over 1 week of doing this, and realizing that this is not what I need to be doing for myself. It really isn't. It's not helping me at all. Like, there's no reason for me to be trading like this, you know, or feeling like I have to trade like this, because I've always said, trading is not like school. There is not one way to trade. I've always said this. I've always felt this. I've always believed this. But I get into the trap of listening to other people, because it's like they're more knowledgeable than me. They're more experienced. So they've experienced withdrawals, payouts. They make 5-10K a year, a month. And so it's like I should be listening to them, you know, but you know, as I get older, you know, I understand now that I should be listening to me and understanding what makes sense to me, what feels right to me, what feels fun. And a lot of people feel like maybe it shouldn't be that. And I I don't want to do anything that's boring. Now, I understand, like, when you do something repeatedly, it can be boring. It can be boring. And I understand that trading, is a boring game. It really is. But you can make it fun, like, it should be fun. Like, for the person that I am, I would never want to do something as tedious or, something that I know that I want to do and will do for the rest of my life. I don't want to do that and not have fun with it and not feel like it's, it's just this task that's like, it's very beneficial, but it's like, if I didn't feel like it would, like, hold on, I knew that regardless, trading is that one thing that I would never want to get rid of. And so this week 2 of the break, it really made me want to lock in with myself and really understand who I am. And I'm on YouTube a lot, so the YouTube algorithm is going at me like this. So obviously, it picks up what I'm saying and what I'm typing up and like thinking about. So it showed me a negative RR video. It really did. It showed me, and I was just like, this was the first time that I seen it, and I was genuinely interested in seeing that, because I seen it before, and I was like, that was my reaction. I was like, what do you mean? Like, I don't like the sound of that. And before this, I kind of saw Donvo, and I saw how he was doing it, and I saw his win rate. That was the first thing that I saw. I was like, whoa, that's crazy. I've never seen that before. And then I started to seeing his RR, and I was just like, whoa, like, that's crazy. I never seen anything like that before. And me at this time, when I first seen Donvo, I was doing 1-to-1s, and that was just my thing. But when I saw him doing it, like doing what he does, I was just like, oh, it was just interesting. I was just like, are you profitable? But I never really put it into my head like, oh, maybe I should chase that, or what's that? I was so focused on that 1-to-1s. So during the week 2, when I saw another negative risk reward video, this time I felt intrigued too. I was really questioning myself and questioning who I am, and saying that I wanted to win more. I wanted to feel like a winner. I wanted that feeling, that rush of a high win rate. And I don't want a lot of losses. That's what I said. And that's when, after that, I got recommended that video. And to see it, I was just like, now, let me see what this is about. So I locked in, I watched this. His name was Scott something. I don't really remember. But it was like this presentation, and it was showing it. And I was just like, shit, that kind of makes sense. When you do with the math, I think the feeling of it is just, it sucks when you take a trade, and one trade can, blow out 2 wins. But in reality, it's like, you're winning more though. You're winning more. Like, yeah, they can pull you back. Everyone has a pullback, but you're winning more. And that's the main thing that has helped me continue moving. And, the strategy that I use is honestly the same. I started incorporating support and resistance zones, and that has been helping me, win a lot of these trades. And another thing that has helped me is journaling, something like this. So being able to actually see the results, and looking back and being like, wait, this is happening, and it happened again, and it happened again, and this is pretty frequent. And I just started it now, and that's another thing. I just started it, but it's the way that it's working so quickly. It just makes so much more sense to me. Like, everything just flows in a way that aligns with who I am. And I just feel so happy, because this is the first time when I actually felt like, yo, I can get a fucking payout. Like, I'm going to get a payout. Like I'm gonna be making $10K a month plus. Like, this is it, bro. Like, I'm tapping in, and it's weird. It's a weird feeling, but once you start to accept it, you're realizing, okay, like, bro, I know we've been on this road for a long time, but you finally figured out who the fuck you was, and now it's coming into fruition. There's always possibilities of continuing and like all that stuff, and changing what we do, but literally right now, bro, this is you. I know you like it faster. I know you want it faster. That's why I said I left room for you, in the future, because I know how you think, Kitty. I know who you are. So it's like, but the foundation of it is still, I love it, and the fact I've been able to recognize when price, like most of the time, 80% of the time, when it's about to go into a range. And so I've been able to capitalize that way, and it's been fucking fun, dude. Like, it's been fun, going on my Ninja Trader, checking my stats and seeing that I have okay, I'll be honest, like, sometimes the worst was 58%. The second worst was 68%. And then everything else has been 70% or up. I remember taking multiple trades in a day and having an 84% win rate. And it really shocked me. Like, Thursday, I went 3-0. That's really shocking. I love to win, and I realized I cannot be a person that tries to ignore that, because that's just not going to make trading fun, and that's not going to make me in it. So now that I'm recognizing that I literally have to be myself, or else shit is just not going to work out like how they want it to be, I'm taking the sacrifices of looking normal in front of common traders, because it fits who I am. And I don't like to stand out too much, but I understand that I was meant to stand out, and that's just how it is. So that's kind of how I got into the negative RR. I feel happier here. My win rate right now is at a 77%, and some days, as I mentioned, can be higher than that. Some days it can be lower than that, but the majority of my days, it's in that 70+%. So I feel happy. I just want to keep on going, keep on doing the same things. Like, the fact that I feel excited about next week and can't wait to get back onto the charts and seeing what opportunities come, and I'm still learning every day, but it's like, you see the rush that I feel. Like, I feel so happy. But yeah, if you like content like this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This is my story of how I went from 1-to-1s, positive RR, to negative RR, and I'm happier than ever. If you like more content like this, subscribe.